Hello everyone, this is Lolly. Welcome back, welcome back. We are ready to proceed to part 9 in our December daily. This is where we left it, and I had said I thought I was going to have to cover these white tabs there because I didn't really care for them. So let's do that before we proceed. Actually, let's pull this out and work on this. So we need 19 and 20 for the next one. So what I have here, I've got a nice blank canvas to work with, and I decided to cut this. So this is 4 3/4 across by 4.5 tall. And that is going to be a pocket for us. I am situating this so that the writing of Warm Wishes is angled up. But I also took a piece of black cardstock, and I just use a border punch that I have in my stash. You could just use some kind of trim if you want. You don't have to use a border punch. So we got that on there, and I also want to utilize part of the stickers that are in the collection to come underneath here. So I'm trying to figure out whether this red one will look better or the other one. I think I will go with this one. That goes there. Perfect. And now that can go on here, and we'll have to punch our holes again and probably pull these out just to make sure we get that right. I'm going to glue on all the both sides and the bottom. Now you notice how plain that is up there. What we're going to do to counteract that plainness up there is we're going to put tags inside here, and those tags will add interest at the top here. Let's just pull those all the way out and get those holes punched. There we go. Put those cards back in there from the other side. There we go. Now here's what I cut out. Here's what I did. I'll give you the dimensions of this. I cut a solid one that is 2.5 by 6. And I cut a lining piece, a matted piece, that's 5.5 by 2 1/4. And so that will just get glued on here. I rounded the top corners on both of these. That's one. And the next one I cut at, let's see, this is the decorative paper, and it is 2.5 by 5 3/4. And the liner is 5 1/4 by 2. We're gonna, I didn't round these corners here. I think, now I can't remember which one I used. I used the large round on this. Now, these can be used as journaling spots. I can journal here, I can journal on the back of these, and we can punch holes, we can put eyelets, we can do whatever we want with this. So, but I'm also looking at these stickers, and there are a couple of them that have a little hole in the top, which made me think that they would be great, like right there. I'm putting that right at the top. And then I will use this to punch another hole. It looks like that's a small punch, so let's do that. Small hole. We've got that. And then this one, I like that because it adds a little more decoration to that than what we have already. But what we also need is numbers. There's that. I didn't think about that. So here's one thing I can do. I said we needed 19 and 20. Now these are downloads under this video. You know, every time I do a video, I tell you to look underneath the video. YouTube does not automatically show you every single thing that I have written under there. They only show you like half of the first sentence that I wrote. So in order to see all of it, you have to go through and click to expand more of the information down there. So on a phone, it looks like a little upside down arrowhead. And on a computer, you just click more, and then you can see everything that I've written there. It'll help you, believe me, it'll help you in seeing all there is to see down there. So I think what I'll do is put that there and put the hole through it. And then we've got number 19. I think I'm going to put that up like this. I am going to go ahead and put an eyelet in there. And I think I better go with red. I do get asked often where I got these little trays to hold the eyelets. They were from a craft store, and I believe it was Joann's and Joann Fabric. And they were like for jewelry. They were in the jewelry department. And if you need to know how to set eyelets, make sure you look underneath this video. I'm going to give you my video link on how to set perfect eyelets, because people say all the time that they don't like using eyelets because they can't do a good job. Well, this will help you to set better eyelets, and then you'll want to use them. But now I want this to go through the top. There, and that also gives us some interest coming off the top there. It might be too much, so we can trim some of that back. I like to trim these at 2 different lengths. And there we have that 19 and 20, very easy. Let's set this aside and let's look at the next one. So for the next day, I took another piece of file folder. Now here's an example of what you can do. Now this one already has some punching in it. You can open it up and cut 8 inches down and then 4 3/4 inches from this side here, so that this tag is sticking out. You see, it'll be sticking out. And what I had left over was when we had cut the stickers to mail them, there was this one little strip right there. It said Joy to the World, and I just put that right there along the edge, and I distressed around the edges, and that's all I did. And then we had this piece here. It was from one that's cut in half. And so find this one, make sure it's cut in half, and then this will go here as a pocket this way. You can cut a little thumb notch in there if you want. You can use your 1-inch circle punch that we've been using, or you can use something like this, which this is a 1.5, and it just makes more of a gentle slope right there. So let's go ahead and glue that on. We've gotten a lot of use out of file folders on this particular project, and I'm loving it. We're just using it as a base here, but we didn't mat it with another color. Okay, let's get that punch so that we don't forget. Now, I figured those of you who are using a binder would probably already have the means to punch your holes. I figured if you're punching your own holes and using rings, you wouldn't be using a 6-hole. So I'm giving you the pattern download on how for 2, 3, and 4 hole punches. Okay, now I'm looking at these stamps, and in the pieces, little pieces we've been cutting off, we have these. And this Joy to the World matches that Joy to the World. And I think it would be really cute if that was actually put up on foam. So let's do that. And the beauty of foam tape is if you want, you could, you could put 2 layers on there if you want it to really stick up. Now, I do have black foam tape in my shop, and the beauty of black foam tape is from the side, you can't really see the black foam tape like you can with this. So one thing you can also do if you want to tone down the white is to just take like a Sharpie, and you can color in the black foam tape from the side, but I'm not going to do that for now. Just putting that over there and elevating that a little bit. You can hardly tell, but it does make it really cute. Another thing in the ephemera was this little piece here. I think that's really pretty. You could put it either way if you want it to the right or to the left. Totally up to you. However, I think I'm going to do it this way, and I have a reason for that. This was also something we cut off at the bottom of a strip of something. It says Peace. I'm going to put that up on foam tape right there. And that's going to go on here. Now the reason I wanted this to go this way is that I'm going to put a little ribbon here as well, and I want it to stick off this way instead of into my rings. Just putting the loop through and then putting the ends through the loop. Now you see what I'm saying? These are going to stick off this way instead of kind of interfering with my rings right there. And I'm just measuring where those should go, like that. Okay, and this itself needs to be popped up a little bit. So let's turn that over. Okay, and you know what? This is a little pale here, and I'm finding it's getting lost. So even though we're popping it up, let's distress it a little bit. There we go. That really adds a lot of interest to that. I'm noticing my holes are kind of getting lost here, but it's okay. It's so decorative right here. I don't think I want to put any hole reinforcements there. Thinking I might do it on the left side though. Maybe something dark here. We'll see. See what we have here. The hole reinforcer sets. I have the news on that now. So I have more of number 1 on order. Number 2 is still in my shop, and they are coming out with a new hole reinforcement set in about a week, and I definitely will be stocking those. Let's go with this one here. And I give you the little ring here so that you can, this little wire, so that you can organize your hole reinforcers. Okay, so I'm thinking, now that I'm looking at these together, that I want to put something colorful here. So I'm looking at the paper scraps that I have left over. You know, we have the plaid paper here. I'm thinking that these 3 could be plaid and these black maybe. Let's try that out. Yeah, I like that. That just really helps to break up that. If you don't have hole reinforcers, I give you other ideas in some of the other videos on what you can do to just bring interest right there. Very cute. Now we need 21 and 22. Now I've made journaling cards like these, and that's one of the downloads that I give you. You can utilize these by putting that in there. So I'm thinking it needs to go like this. And we also have all these journaling cards that are part of the collection. So this is part of what I sent you in your kit, were things like this, and they're so pretty. So if you want, you can use just those and not the journaling card I gave you. Here's a smaller one right here that would be really cute. And the color wouldn't be so noticeable with the file folder. I think we should go with that. We could do that and maybe one of these as well, like those 2 right there. So we need our numbers, and I'm thinking let's go with red again on the circles again. We do have, I printed off mine on white and on red. I think I would want, however, I would want the tab to be at the top here. So let's do that. Let's do, I didn't distress the edge of that, silly me. Remember, whatever we do in the back is going to show through on the other side, probably. And now we've got 22. So we could put it through this way, like that. Oops, and I did the same thing again. I just didn't distress that. So there we have 21 and 22, but you notice 21 is sideways compared to this. So what I think I'm going to do is turn that around. It's going to tear, but it'll still leave part of it this way. So I want to turn that around and match the way that one is shaped, which means that on the back side, you're going to see that I tore it a little bit. So we can cover that up with another piece of cardstock and just cover it up like that. There, much better. I like that better to have them facing the same way. Didn't think about that. I think when we do the next thing, so we need 23, 24, and 25. So I thought 23 and 24 would go on one, and then Christmas would have its own front and back. I think that would be the best way to work this out. So let's put this in our journal. This is the exciting part of the day when we get to go through and see how this is coming together. Now, I'm thinking this is a little stark here, so I think that this would help me a little bit to tone that down. That edge is so noticeable. That's better. Okay, tuck that in there. We've got this, and we're doing great with these. We have a lot of the tags sticking out on the side. Beautiful. We can put that right in there. And you can see how chunky we are getting on there. We're doing great. So thank you for watching. I think this has been such a pleasure to work on. I'm looking forward to finishing it. And then we'll do an entire flip through. Thank you, everyone.